You're in mute, bud.
I guess that would help not being
Yeah.
in mute, right?
Happy
I
fucking
thought
New Year.
yeah, happy fucking New Year. I thought you could read lips.
Not those lips.
What are you saying? They're not fat enough. They're not.
They're
What do you mean?
not in the right spot.
Oh. So how's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Good, good. How was Christmas and New Year's?
A bit hectic, but it's to be expected when you have family visiting from another country, right?
Well, it would have been more hectic if you said family from another world.
Yeah. Another dimension.
Another dimension.
That's right.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy over the past few weeks. I mean, normally we kind of do a bonus show through the hiatus, but we didn't really have time, man. It's just been so crazy,
Yeah.
just so crazy, and with Christmas and New Year's. Um, I mean, how was your New Year's? Like quiet? What?
Yeah, pretty quiet. I mean, I went over to my brother's and, ate dinner and then came home.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
yeah. It was pretty quiet for us too. I mean, we just low key in the in-laws, just you know, had a few beers and you know, did a lot of nothing really, man. Just shoot the shit and I mean, it's becoming increasingly fucking expensive.
It is. It
You
is.
know,
But it's not even just that. It's just, what? What's there to do, really? I don't have the patience to fucking go to those like parties or anything like that. So I just
hey
don't
Barry.
bother.
Yeah, it's as much as you like trying to find a small like pub or bar or whatever and going in and just like they have some live music playing or whatever and there's not a lot of people.
Mhm.
I don't know, like don't get me wrong, I don't mind being around a lot of people, but fucking there's a lot of stupid fucking idiots in this world.
I mind.
you know
I don't like being around a lot of people.
yeah, and more so now over the past couple of years, so I don't know, it's just been chaotic, being I don't know, like it's like they've like a switch has been turned on with the amount of stupidness. Wait a sec, that's not a word, but I like it. Stupidness.
It works.
It does work. It does work. And hold on a sec. Let me just see something here. Uh, okay, perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure my mic was on right. Oh, so yeah. So was Santa good to you?
I didn't get fuck all.
To put it bluntly, yeah.
Well, no, okay. I shouldn't say that. What my wife and I did was we basically said we're not going to buy each other gifts. We went and bought a king size bed instead.
Mhm.
So we didn't bother getting each other any gifts, and my family and I, we never usually exchanged gifts. We used to do like Secret Santa when the kids were smaller, like when my nephew and my nieces were smaller.
Mhm.
But I mean, they're in their 20s now, man. So it's like, you know what? Just buy your own shit.
Just buy your
you
own
know,
shit.
do it that way. There's no point.
Just, just buy your own shit.
They all work. They can get their own stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, new bed equals more babies. Nah, that ship has sailed, bro. You have one already.
come on,
That's enough.
king size. You'll never go back.
Probably not.
No, you won't, man. No way. All that room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
all
waiting
that
for the
room.
time when our daughter comes in the room saying, "I had a nightmare. Can I sleep with you?" Oh God,
Well, hey, that's not too much longer, man.
I
Give it
know.
time.
Well, I think this is part of the reason why we decided to go for a king, just as a preemptive. At least we have the room to house her between us,
You've got the room exactly, exactly.
because it's gonna
Um,
happen.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Eventually, obviously, when she gets to that point, it's like,
Yeah.
Daddy, Daddy, there's a monster in my room. And then what? what if she develops an imaginary friend?
I
How
already
how
told my
how
I okay.
how would you work that?
I already told my wife that when she's old enough that I'm gonna sit down, talk, conversation with her about all this paranormal stuff. So
Mhm.
hopefully I'll preemptively deal with that before she gets to that stage.
Yeah, but it's a real problem. I mean, it's a real thing, a real thing. Like, how would you explain to her? Would you go along with it and then all of a sudden just burst the bubble? Or what if she's really, really communicating with something or
Well, that's what I
somebody?
yeah.
Huh?
That's
How
why
how
I'd
how
have
do
to
you
have a
how,
conversation.
how do you work with that?
Well, you do your best.
You do your
It's
best.
one of those things where it's like, okay, if you know you're talking to an imaginary friend, or it could potentially be um, someone, I'll ask her, okay, what is he saying, or what is she saying? Tell me, and see if this stuff this entity says that I can, fact check, so to speak, or
Mhm,
verify rather than fact check. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And go from there. And if it checks out, then we have a situation.
Would you try to explain it through science, scientifically explain it?
To her?
No, no, like her situation. Is she really talking to somebody? Maybe she's hallucinating or something like that. Maybe something's causing her to, something in the room, maybe like stray EMF, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's always a possibility. The good
Mhm,
thing is that because we've been doing what we because we do what we do, rather.
mhm.
I have an EMF meter. I can verify if there's any stray readings in the room, and there hasn't been. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Um, if she starts to, like I said, if she starts to, and this is the funny thing. I just remembered when we were at my sister's house in Toronto.
yeah.
Um, we have in the living room. There's this like sort of frame that has a whole bunch of photos, like family pictures of us, all of us, and my parents and what have you. And I was holding my daughter, and we went up to the frame, and she kept pointing to the picture of my mom,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then at one point, she says, "Bye bye," right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, "What the hell?" It's like I didn't prompt her to say that. No one prompted her to say that because my mom passed away like 11 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just funny how it happened. How she just unprovoked kept pointing at the picture of my mom, and just at some point said bye bye. I'm like, oh, okay. So here it starts already.
Yeah, that would be insane. That would be really, really insane if she was to go, start, saying something about say your mother or your father that she obviously would know
Right,
because she
right.
was she wasn't born, she wasn't around. That'd be insane.
It would be, and that's what when she starts to talk more. Obviously, right now she just says the odd word here and there, and she doesn't make sense, right? But when she starts to be more coherent, um, it'll be interesting to see what kind of things she says.
Yeah, it's insane. Huh? It's just the world of possibilities. The
Mm,
world of possibilities.
for sure.
If anybody would like to join us, by all means, the link is at the top of the chat. By all means, we're just gonna shoot the shit for a little bit, and we Terry's
Sounds
there.
like Alex.
Yeah.
You talking about
uh,
being coherent?
coherent.
Yes, here we go. Up yours,
uh,
Terry.
good old Terry.
Yep.
Good old Terry. Um, did you hear that?
No, what? Yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh
I
man.
talk more coherently after I have a burrito, Terry.
Yeah. The more burritos he has, the more coherent.
That's right.
It's intoxicating, especially when it has a lot of meat on it.
And it ain't this one that's making the sense. It's the other one.
Oh God, you're gonna love it.
This is going to be R-rated. This show.
Absolutely, Scoop. And that's something that we've talked about many times, and the possibility that, for instance, some of them, tend to retain it as they get older, where most of us lose that sort of sense of sense of being able to be in contact oh, with whatever we don't know, with the other, another dimension, or the afterlife, if as some people put it, the afterlife.
Mm.
um I think people who are, excuse me, that tend to retain it, hold on to it, or regain it later on in life, tend to be, I guess, what would you say, Alex? Like sensitive. They become sensitive. They become,
I think how you raise your children has a huge bearing on it,
yeah.
right? I mean, if you start from the get go when they start to understand and start saying, that stuff's not real, you're just imagining it, all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I think that quote unquote filter gets put on pretty quickly. Um, but this is why, like I said, when she's of an age when I can have an actual conversation with her, I'm going
Hmm.
to sit down with her and have this kind of conversation with her. I'm not going to tell her that everything is, in her mind and it's just imagination. However, you also have to be careful because sometimes it can be just, made up, whatever. You just got to be sort of discerning as much as possible for someone who's that young, of course, you know what I mean? And I'm going to make sure she understands that whenever she sees something like this or thinks she sees something like this, that to be able to approach me and not be afraid to approach me about it because I want to be able to help her, right?
Hmm.
So we go from there.
But by the way, happy New Year to everyone in chat who's
Yes. Happy New Year.
joined us this evening. Thank you for stopping by. We normally do a show this 9 o'clock every Sunday night, but not this early. We'll probably be back with a regular show next Sunday. In fact, we're working on a pretty big one. Hey, Alex.
Mm.
Let's just say a major UFO incident that happened in the 90s, right? And somebody who was in the heart of it. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we can get that sorted out, like date wise.
Yeah.
You
That'd be
know?
an interesting show.
Oh yeah, man, really interesting. And the particular event I remember slightly. I didn't know much about it, but I remember hearing about it, and especially us being so close to it. I mean, we're not that far.
Mm.
Maybe what, 5, 6 hours, something like that,
More or less.
roughly,
Yeah.
more or less. Traveling across, because it's on the far side of Michigan, so you're looking at maybe about 6 hours, maybe roughly.
Depends how
You know,
fast you go.
huh?
Depends how fast you go.
Well, yeah, but I'm looking at what I think to Flint. It's about 4 hours to Flint from here. So you're probably looking at maybe another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours
But that's from
to
your house.
from here. Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly from here.
So for
Yeah,
me, it'd be longer, but
yeah.
nevertheless,
Well,
not a
for
whole
you,
hell of a
yeah, it'd
lot
be a
longer.
bit longer. But you never know, man. I mean, you could be very adventurous and go up the Sault Ste. Marie way,
Mm.
Manitoulin Island.
I'll
That'd be
pass.
a cool trip,
No, it would be.
huh?
It would be.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Well, when we moved to from Manitoba to Toronto,
Hmm.
we drove through the Trans Canada Highway, and it went through all those northern Ontario, like what was it? Sault Ste. Marie was one of them. I don't know which other one we passed through, but it was a very beautiful drive.
Terry, I
I can
can't
see
see
Flint
Flint
from
from
my
my
back
back
porch.
porch. Oh God, that's hilarious. Yeah. But anyways, that
Don't light a match, Terry.
yeah, that show will hopefully what?
Terry, who the hell chooses? Hey, I was
Uh,
only 8. I didn't have any say in the matter, Terry. Just so you know.
so how did you like growing up in Manitoba?
I didn't grow up there. I was only there for 4 years.
You're only there for 4 years?
Yeah.
How did you like living in Manitoba
Oh, it was
then?
fucking hell.
It was
There you
fucking
go.
hell. So I can't remember. So you went straight there from Italy?
That's right.
Holy
That
fuck.
was one of the okay. So one of the easiest way to emigrate to Canada was to buy land in the prairies to
Okay.
become farmers. That
Yeah.
was one of the easiest routes to get into the country
Mhm.
as landed immigrants.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what my dad did. He bought land. He bought farmland in Manitoba, and we emigrated. 4 years after that, we got the fuck out of there. Right?
And I guess hey Safari, how are you? Thanks for joining us, buddy. Um how I mean it because you're from pretty much northern Italy, right?
Central North, yeah.
Central. So like difference wise,
Oh, it's huge,
it was a huge like
huge,
yeah.
huge difference.
Because I
But
guess
the culture itself, obviously,
well,
from Italy
obviously
to
the culture, but I
so
mean
as culture
weather-wise.
aside, the weather itself was just traumatic. The first winter
Oh,
we
really?
spent in Manitoba was really traumatic
Really?
because we don't get like where we were when we're from.
Mhm.
We'll get very little snow. Like you're talking about a dusting, if that,
Mhm.
and it hovers usually around 0 degrees. That's about
Yeah.
as cold as it gets.
Yeah.
You get obviously the exceptions, but few and far between. Whereas in Manitoba, you can minus 15, 20 on a constant basis there. And plus, I mean, it's flat land, so you're going to have nothing to protect you from the wind at all, right?
Can you recall the hottest day? What was the temperature?
In Manitoba?
Plus 10?
No, no, it got hot actually. It got
I
pretty
know.
hot.
I
Yeah.
know.
But it also gets pretty fucking cold, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, especially, you're entering the prairies pretty much, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah. And
it can't.
we were close to the Saskatchewan border. So it's like we were on the west side of the province,
Oh, wow.
right?
And Saskatchewan is nothing but flat.
Oh, same with Manitoba. It's all flat.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And those cold winds just
Hmm.
fucking roll across.
Oh yeah.
There's no forgiveness whatsoever.
None. None whatsoever, man. And then it was
Uh,
kind of funny because when we decided, to move to Toronto, um, when we hit the border of Ontario, it was like crossing those proverbial train tracks. It was
mhm.
like night and day.
Yeah.
You went from like flat land to like just forest after forest after forest
Mhm.
and lakes and that kind of stuff. Whereas in Manitoba, you just saw field after field after field. That's all you saw. It was just
Uh,
bad.
yeah, that's insane, man. That's insane. Um, yeah, so,
Scoobs just asked about where. So I'm about 3 hours west of Winnipeg. Scoobs, if in case you want to look it up. Look
when
for a town called Oak Lake, and you'll have an
Oak
idea of where I live.
Lake. Yeah, Winnipeg is probably the only major
It is.
major hub in
Well,
Manitoba. I
it's
mean,
the
they do have
capital, right?
it's a capital, but I mean, there are smaller hubs, but I mean, in terms of a major city, Winnipeg's probably the only one in Manitoba, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
You know?
The only other one was Brandon, which is about an hour away from us, which
Yeah.
is it's more like a big town rather than a
Yeah.
small city, right?
And I mean, Winnipeg is pretty much yeah, it's right there along the Trans Canada.
It is, yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
only reason why Winnipeg is the way it is because of the highway, pretty much.
Yeah, more or
And
less. Yeah.
any of the cities along the Trans Canada Highway that
Yeah.
going through the prairies, especially, Saskatchewan and Manitoba, a little bit, not as much for Alberta, but still major. And then you get into British Columbia, and British Columbia is just all over the place.
Mm.
But I was reading a stat there. 90%. They said basically 90% of Canada's population lives along the border with the U.S.
Yes,
50% of the population lives below the Great Lakes in southern Ontario.
that's right.
50%
Yeah,
of Canada's population.
that's right.
That's fucking insane.
I know that.
Because
I
that's
know.
where we are, and we're like 50%.
That goes to show just how much of a untapped country there is in Canada.
Well, I mean, when you look at Northern Ontario,
Yeah.
especially Northern Ontario and into Northern Quebec and even into Northern Manitoba,
Hmm.
you have the Canadian Shield,
Yeah.
right? And you really can't farm, right? You can't, farming is like literally useless in those areas. You can't really harvest because of the rock,
Yeah.
right? Sure, you have trees and everything else that grow there and vegetation, but in terms of farming as we know it, it's probably one of the worst areas to farm.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the farming in Ontario is close to the major hubs. Yeah. Oh, you gotta love it.
I buy the Canadian Shield at the drugstore.
Yeah.
Wrong
Uh,
shield, dude.
uh,
But yeah. Well, that's yeah. And I don't know how northern Saskatchewan is like. I don't know if that is affected, but I mean, but you also have to keep in mind that the further north you get, especially when you're talking about the prairies, the
mhm.
less hospitable the climate is,
Well, exactly, and that's what I mean.
right?
Northern Ontario, too, right? I mean, you get right up there, you're like
Yeah,
in no man's land. You're
yeah.
you're pretty, you know.
Oh yeah,
And that's what I mean. There's like, sure, you have small little towns scattered in and around there, but nothing to the point where you can say, "Well, hey, I can live here, get a job, and just retire," sort of thing.
yeah.
No, you can retire there if you want. If you want to endure the climate,
That's right.
you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some really, really beautiful areas up
Oh,
there.
northern Ontario is beautiful.
Absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful,
it is.
you know?
Yeah,
And I could see why, because I mean, obviously you have problems with logging, still, and you know, tree clearing is another huge problem. And they've been, especially you look at Temagami, is one prime example. And they for years saying, "Look, you got to stop this." I mean, obviously, BC's bad for it too, right?
hmm,
Clear cut, and especially with old growth, they're concerned about the old growth in BC, right? We're talking about, when they mean old growth, we're looking at trees that are, you know, 2, 3, 4, 500 years old and older.
yeah.
And, once they're gone,
That's it.
so they're really, really putting a push on for these companies to stop clearing. Yeah, don't get me started on old growth. Oh, you gotta love it. Well, Terry, the link's there. We'll get you started if you want to come on and talk about old
That's right.
growth. Uh, so yeah. But anyways, yeah. Hey Sab, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Happy New Year. Um, the man, the talented Mr. Sab. I
We
must.
got someone here from Manitoba. Look at
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Lion
Whereabouts?
39.
Whereabouts
Yeah,
are you from?
we're about some Manitoba. You from?
Yeah,
Now you can relate to Alex.
that's right.
Alex can relate.
That's right.
Depending on what part of Manitoba you're from. And if anybody wants to click the link and join us, by all means, please. Completely open for the time that we're going to be here live. Again, we're going to regular shows. Season 15 picks up next Sunday night, probably, most likely. And we will get you guys the details here, obviously, on our Facebook group, or sorry, on our YouTube group, Twitch, just south of Winnipeg. So
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
close to the U.S. border.
yeah, close to the U.S. border.
I
Yeah,
mean, like Winnipeg is how
Winnipeg's
far
not
from?
far from. Yeah, it's not far from the
Yeah,
U.S.
it's not far
border.
from the U.S. border.
No.
So, yeah, season 15 picks up second half of it next Sunday, and again, we'll get all that info out for you.
I think Terry needs glasses.
Terry.
They're unique glasses, man. It's line 39, not 99.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that old growth, buddy.
That old growth. The link's at the top of the chat there. Click it if you guys want to join us. We'd love to have you. Celebrating the New Year trunk.
There you go. Okay, you're forgiven then.
Oh, you gotta love it. But yeah, the second half of the season 15 picks up next Sunday night. And again, like I said, we're working on a pretty big UFO event that happened in the 90s in Michigan. We're going to have a special guest on to talk about his involvement with it. And let me just say, he was pretty much in the heart of it. And we're talking about science here, right? We're talking about science trying to explain this UFO incident at the heart of it. So it's going to be pretty cool.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the show.
I am, man. I am. Did you watch the episode?
I did, yeah.
What did you think of it? Without giving too much away.
Oh, it was good. It was very interesting. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait to have the guy on this show.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that he basically had to keep quiet, until he retired.
Yep.
And once he retired, he's been able to talk about it. Let's see. Benson Sniffler. Yeah.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah, I love it. What's up? Benson. He didn't want to stick around.
Oh, he dropped off already?
He dropped out, yeah. Benson is probably one of those,
I think we're getting the BTR.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm sure. Once again, guys, the link's at the top of the chat there if you want to join us, by all means.
Oh.
Hey, Benson. Is this Benson?
No, this is not Benson. The previous person who wanted to join the live obviously was. That's why I was like, right, come on, let's have a real person join then.
How you doing?
I'm good, yeah. How are you?
Hey, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Alex, how are you? You good?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah. How did we have the new year? Did you bring it in well?
Yeah.
Definitely. I didn't really do much. I just sort of sat on my couch watching the countdown. That's about it.
How about you, Sab?
Well,
there you go. You're going to open up a can of worms now.
Yes.
No, I didn't do that. But if you ask, like, there's a lot of people in chat now. Who will back me up with this as well. A few people were actually live with me on my live stream. Yeah, I seen that you popped over as well, Steve. I said that you.
I was over there. Yeah, I popped in to say hi and Happy New Year and everything.
I seen you in chat. Yeah, no problem. But my brother, who I haven't spoken to for about 5 years, and even previous to that, it was very thickly sort of situation, relationship-wise, So for a good 10 years, we haven't spoken properly, and he literally just presented himself on my live stream.
Oh,
On
wow.
the panel as a guest. I was like, oh my god. So we gave him a good hour or so to get everything off his chest and like see the new year in with a fresh foot and to see the past behind us. It was very strange, but yeah,
I would say that's pretty freaky, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
yeah, it was yeah.
So
I changed-
seriously, what was your initial thought? Oh my god, my brother, I haven't talked to him in how many years?
My initial thought was the last time we actually spoke, it was all just loggerheads between us and arguing, and he wouldn't see it from both perspectives, and I just had to walk away from it. If you get me, it was one of them.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff he came up with was very strange and weird. Let's just say that, but his head wasn't in the right place. So this time I was just like, I don't know. I don't know the lad. I am who I am myself. I'm a man of my word. I give people the benefit of the doubt. Even my own brother after not, you know what I mean? So I let him do that. I literally muted myself, I dropped myself down, and I was like, you do what you need to do. Get it all off your chest, bro. It was a very humble moment, let's just say that. Like, yeah, on both both parts, it was very, for him to open up the way he did and for me to let him do it as well without taking the piss and without, do you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff.
And all this on the show, live as you guys.
Live,
that's crazy, man.
Like, yeah, and it was one of his first times he's ever been live on YouTube as well. So he's not like a veteran.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not a veteran like us, like, you know. Do you know what I mean?
It could have been worse. It could have been like this guy coming or a woman coming out of the woodwork saying, "Hi, Daddy." Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm pretty good on that behalf. I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be crazy. It's like, Alex, don't you remember?
Yeah.
Don't you remember? My mother was so and so. Don't you remember?
Mhm.
What? What?
No, I thought he was just going to start ranting and having a rage and just, you know what I mean, all that sort of stuff. I thought he was going to be like, yeah, you did this to me and you did that. I thought he was going to be on one like that, but he didn't. He was just like, yeah, I don't know, very strange. He's basically protesting that he needed me there in his life and I wasn't there, and he's lost all his family and everything, like, you know what I mean? So he's feeling very lost and alone now, basically, like.
So he was reaching out, which is
yeah,
I guess cool, because like you said, you had not spoken in, what'd you say, 10 years?
Well, about 5 years, and even that was over the telephone. I haven't seen him personally.
Oh, okay.
Not even like on a, like we see each other now. I haven't even seen him like that for 10 years. Like, yeah.
Wow, that's insane, man. That's just insane. That's crazy, man.
Crazy John. Hello, Crazy John. There we go.
Yeah, Crazy John's here. Hey, Crazy John. Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year to everyone, man.
Mel and Diane Brooks, Adrian.
Yes.
Yeah, Scoobs. I did notice
It's
you.
good
I
to
did
see
say
you.
hello
Good to
as
see
well.
everyone.
Harry, yeah. Hello.
Hold on, what do we got here? There we go. Yeah, that's cool, man. And I noticed in the one stream you had going there, you're pretty damn busy, man. You're I was watching, you were working on a it looked like some sort of motorized, I don't know what.
Oh, up in the shed, in the workshop.
Yeah, you were in the shed there, and you're like going, step by step. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and it's pretty neat, man.
Yeah, it's a go-kart built with 2,000 watts, 48 volts motor kit as well. It's really good. It's going to be really good when I'm finished that. You remember the trike I built?
Yeah, I remember, because you were riding it in the street one time.
That's still working and everything. But it's basically all the stuff I had on that, I've also got again, and I'm going to make a go-kart out of an old mobility scooter. So, yeah.
if you need, Alex, if you need a hot rod for your daughter, here's your man.
Yeah.
He can build one.
Nice.
Well, it was pretty, because I think you have it on your YouTube when you're like zooming through the neighborhood on that little thing, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty friggin' neat, man.
Yeah, that's built from scratch as well. Literally, all I bought was the frame. That's all I had for that. Seriously, just the raw frame of it, the center. You know what I mean? I had to build the rear axle. I had to sort out new forks for it, everything, like. So yeah.
Well, this go-kart you're working on is right from scratch too, right?
Yeah, that's from scratch as well. That's basically from birth frame. Well, I said that the front steering, I've left the front steering as it came, so that I'm not messing about with that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's all I'm doing all the seats and the rear end and everything, all the rear axle. So
That is neat, man. That's
But tell us more about the sci-fi UFO stuff, anyway, because that really intrigues. You know that intrigues me, like so.
well, I don't want to give away too much because it's a huge, what is it, 1993, I think, and a huge incident that happened in Michigan. Very huge, big. It made national news, in fact, and in fact, the person, the guest that we're having on, or we're scheduling to have on, he was a meteorologist, like a weatherman who was tracking these objects that people were reporting real time. And it's pretty freaking neat. He wasn't able to talk before, obviously because of his job, but he's coming on the show. He's going to talk about it now because he's retired, and it's going to be pretty interesting.
Is it like is it similar to the Tic Tac UFO sort of stuff? Like,
I don't know if it's similar to the Tic Tac sort of aspect. I don't think that one. This one, if I was to compare it, I'd probably compare it to something more like the Phoenix Lights.
right.
Where literally thousands upon thousands of people were witnessing these ships, the ship or whatever, several ships, including this meteorologist who was like following the movements on his radar and going, what the fuck? We do not have anything technically sound to do these kind of movements. This is not human.
No human-made craft.
It doesn't make sense. The way these things were moving, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, my perspective on obviously UFO, aliens, and all this sort of stuff is this: you look out at space, you point your finger to the sky, a line comes off the end of your finger, it goes off into the vast quantities of space.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even comprehend where that line stops. But then we have the audacity to think that we're the only living species of thing in that entirety of space. It just no. There must be. It's the law of, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you got to look at science, right? I mean, science has a hard line. It will not cross, and people will say, look it. They'll rationalize. And that's fine. I mean, that's fine. But, people have to understand that science is fallible. It's man-made. It's not the end-all be-all. Mm-hmm. It's been proven wrong several times before in the past. But, I mean, it just a matter of time before science might be able to explain something. It just can't at that time or at this current time. So, I mean, that it's like anything paranormal, the unknown. There are theories, but those theories are like thrown out the window because they're not science-based. So it's like pseudoscience. So science will say no, and they'll try to rationalize, right?
All science is just based on theory, basically. It's like,
well, yeah, exactly. But not pseudo. They won't say pseudoscience, though.
Yeah, it's a structured basis of guesswork. Yeah, it's like kind of like but
it's peer reviewed. It's peer reviewed, and hey,
Did you hear recently, a couple of months ago, a meteorite landed, and now we have 2 more elements on the periodic table from it?
I think I read something about that actually not too long ago.
So again, there's science proven wrong, because our periodic table isn't set in stone, is it? Then if we've just discovered 2 more new elements that fit onto that periodic table, like, do you get me? Science.
I like that, Alex. You removed your devil goatee.
I didn't. It's there. Just more there. White hair. You can't see it.
He's getting older. That's why.
I am.
His anti-LaVey is like
chat there. I see that.
I have to start using that just for men.
Just for men. Yeah. get that, yeah, that total
And
darkness going.
And then if Melissa gives me her hair, the red hair,
I
where
know,
the
eh?
drapes won't match the carpet, then I'll have to color this like red, just to kind of make it look match,
By the way, Melissa, I must say I really enjoyed um that ship that you guys were on. You and who was exploring with Brady, I think it is. That ship that you guys were on, that was pretty friggin' neat. Did you see that, Sap? That's a battleship, man. An abandoned battleship. That was pretty neat. Should check it out, Alex. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, send me the
It's
link.
actually really neat. And Melissa was on there with Brady, and it really, really cool. Must say, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I've and it's funny. Speaking of exploration, Urban X. I watched Matt's latest Secret Vault there, and
Mhm.
they were going to an old farmhouse, and with another guy. I forget the other guy's name, but they were encountered by two old farmers,
Oh yeah.
and these two old farmers were
Can't
were
talk
yelling at them. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here! And the one guy was like literally coughing in the other guy's face, like in not Matt's, but the other guy that was his channel, in his face, like going COVID, like literally. So if you
Oh,
watch
shit.
it's pretty fucked up, man.
Huh.
Oh, it kind of reminds me of that movie, a scene from Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, and then everybody gets fucking sick. They
Yep.
become these fucking walking zombies because of this guy's carelessness. But the location was pretty neat. Did you see it, Sap?
I did.
Like the interior of this place is like it's totally left alone. Like everything's still in it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's like untouched, so to speak.
Untouched.
Very rare to have that. Yeah.
Like it's old school. Like we're talking about period piece old school. Like some of the
It's been looked after to some point then, hasn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Because places like that, they don't stay like that for very long when they've been sussed out by people, and then people just end up going off there in cars and they end up taking stuff from the place, smashing it up, having parties. They end up emptying the place just so they can do squats in it, and you know what I mean? It happens.
Well, it looks like some people were in there, but I mean, they went as far as to back a car into an area so they couldn't get into the area that you're able to get into. And the way they got the car, they moved the car. I don't know how they did it, but it was pretty fucked up. But there was a lot of things in there, man. It was like I want to say hoarding city.
Yeah. I think that car had been picked up and put there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's illegal to cough in somebody's face if you have COVID. Right? If you literally give another person COVID because of it, that's it's against the law there in the UK. It's not against the law here, is it? I can't remember, Alex.
I don't know if it's against the law, but I mean, it's someone tries to do that. I don't think they'll last very long.
No.
So, but then you got to think everything's on camera as well. As soon as you react like that, you're the bad guy.
There's
not that many cameras here. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Switch the cameras off. I'm going to stop this man.
Camera? What camera? I don't know.
Plenty of people with cell phones, but not too many cameras here like it is in London anyway. I mean, when I went to London and was chatting with my friends there, and they were saying, "Fuck, there's cameras everywhere." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not living here."
It's like every 2 square foot, like you've got a camera there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's I think what they say, London or the UK, many parts of the UK, or they're saying, is it Tokyo that has the most camera surveillance per
I,
capita.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tokyo does have it, but I mean,
Tokyo's been crazy for years.
yeah,
London-
but I know that London definitely has a lot of cameras as well. I just don't know which one of the two has more.
Hey, it's not just London, even the smaller towns are like it as well. You've got
Yeah.
cameras everywhere, like honestly,
Yeah.
even in this little place where I live, and it's a little place that I live, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm like beach one way, farmland the other, so to speak, and then off into town towards Hastings that way. But like seriously, you go off in just into my little what we call our high street, let's call it, with the shops on it. That's got 3 cameras just on that, like the big tall ones. Yeah, honestly, like yeah. And then you got to think all the shop cameras as well, and then all you know what I mean? Yeah.
I know everyone's got cameras now. It's like you can't get away with anything anymore. And if something, you look at YouTube trending, or you look at TikTok trending and shit like that. All these incidents that happen on fucking security camera.
When I was a kid, you could go to the shop with a £5 note. You could get a big bag of sweets, a magazine, and something else as well, and still have £4.50. But nowadays, you've got bloody cameras everywhere.
See, that's all the money that you spent in those shops there, Sab. They went towards getting those security cameras in place. Fairy muff. Oh, you gotta love it.
This is the fairy muff, Melissa.
I think that's what she was saying.
I know. I'm just pointing it out.
Oh, fairy muff.
Fair enough.
It's called the tickler.
Yeah, it looks kind of. You might want to get a level there too, Alex, when you shave, because it looks a little on.
No, it's just because of the gray.
Was that what it is?
Yeah,
the gray is heavier on the one side than the other.
it is. Yeah.
It looks like the grey is having an existential crisis of whether it wants to be there or not.
Right. Yeah.
Scoops.
Do I belong here? Don't I belong here?
Everyone's gotten quiet.
All right.
Everyone gone quiet. Yeah, in chat. Come on. Why is this? That's hilarious.
Should I leave again? Is that what get everyone chatting?
I don't know. That's hilarious, though. The devil goatee.
Yep.
The devil goatee. That's why you can't go into churches without vomiting.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Could be worse. You could be like a vampire, like Frank.
Yeah, how's Frank doing?
Don't know. I haven't actually seen him. No, I think.
No, I haven't seen Frank for a while there. I was wondering how he was doing, because he was playing a lot of live gigs.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what he's
just playing a lot of gigs.
Yeah, and he's inundated with gigs and stuff, and he's been
Probably.
a bit like, yeah.
I know he posted a live gig there on his channel there, and it's pretty cool. Come on up, Melissa.
Yeah, you can take my spot, Melissa. I'm about to retire soon.
He's about to retire.
Getting sleepy.
He's his devil goatee. He needs some more.
Need some more what?
Fairy muff.
But yeah, that's right. More
That's
fairy
hilarious.
muff.
That's fucking hilarious.
There you go.
Very much not to go fairy muff.
Antibacterial too. Go figure. Wipe all that dirt.
You need to be clean, right?
Well, yeah, wipe all that dirt off your chin, eh?
All the grime.
All the grime off your chin.
Bang, and the dirt is gone.
Ah.
Oh,
Come on, Melissa. Come on. Log in. Take my spot.
Come on.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, so so we've got that coming up, the UFO thing coming up. We're going to have Caroline back on. Well, she didn't come on. We had to cancel. She had a major accident or something happening.
Yep.
But she's coming back on. So that's going to be pretty cool. Forensic science in the paranormal, using it in the paranormal. So
That sounds interesting.
yeah, she's got quite a bit of interesting stuff on her plate. So she'll be on. We're gonna schedule her soon. And I was thinking about. I think it's time, Alex, that
Time
we
for-
invite maybe Michelle and Amelia back on.
Sure.
See if they'd like to come on. It's been a while. It's always a blast having those two on and having an open chat with those guys. So let's see. Hold on a sec here. Okay, just checking. Yeah, so I mean, I can't apparently out to them. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much longer we're gonna go for anyways. We just figured we'd
Yeah.
come on and say Happy New Year to everyone and
Talk about Muff.
What's that?
And talk about Muff.
Talking about Fairy Muff.
Yeah.
Fairy Muff. So New Year's was good your way then, Sab. Everything went great.
Yeah, it was good.
You celebrated. Did you set
Hey.
some?
Well, we got on the live stream together, didn't we? Quite a few of us. It was about I don't know, about
Yeah, I
30
saw that.
people as well, something like that. There was quite a lot of people there to be fair.
You know what you should have did though, during that live stream, you should have went outside and set some fireworks off.
I mean, I didn't have any fireworks to set
Or bang some pots and pans. Do it the old way, eh? Ring in the New Year pots and
I
pans.
lit a candle and I put it in a fig roll.
What? I've oh my god.
At least I made some effort.
I've heard some really weird ways that people bring in the new year. And one of them's from the UK. Something to do with coal.
Yeah, you bring coal in over the threshold. Yeah, and it has to be a stranger as well. It's to
So
bring in
okay, so how does that go?
I used to do it as a kid. Like my nan used to get because I got the black hair as well. yeah, that's what they say.
So
like,
you got to bring the coal over the threshold.
Bring in a piece of coal to bring in the look for the new year. Yeah,
really. And something about an empty suitcase when you're traveling to bring good luck in your travels for the new year or something like that. You know,
what about the empty suitcase? Well, I don't know.
Something about an empty. Somebody, I think it's Portuguese or
I don't know.
South American or something. I remember hearing something about what they do is if they're traveling, they will travel with an empty suitcase to ring in the new year with fortune. I guess something to do with good luck for the new year or something like that.
Sure, it's not an empty suitcase to go and rob a bank.
Well, it could be that too, right?
Yeah.
That's called fortune.
It
right?
is.
So
bringing in fortune for the new year. Yeah,
exactly. That's, I mean, and then obviously you get, the old traditional sort of thing where you go outside and whack on pots and pans, make as much fucking noise as possible. Yes, yeah, it is. It's pretty early. There's 2:58 there in the UK right now. Yeah.
And with that, I'm off.
Yeah, we're gonna get going here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be back Sunday. Next Sunday night, regular show, season 15 kicks off. Tune in. And like I said, we're going to have everything up and posted here on YouTube and New Visions Radio and all that fun stuff. And yeah, it'll be fun. But anyways, Sab, have a good New Year, buddy.
Thank you for having me on as well.
Yeah, everybody in chat, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year and all the best to you all in 2023. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Have a good night.
Good night.